A Friday Night Live house party celebrating the 2020 census with the Count Me In Quintame concert series.
You're sitting around with nothing cool left to do, looking for a show that's really all about you. There's a place you can go, it's a thing it can be, it's a world full of possibilities. Wonderama, it's here, it's new, it's all for you. Wonderama, Wonder, 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 Wonderama, yeah. Wonder, 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 Wonderama.
Now, here's your host, David Osmond.
Welcome to the party. It's Friday night. It's a Wonderama house party. And you're invited to be on the guest list. And we got a lot of guests showing up today. We're so excited. Today we're starting in Chicago. It's the first of our 6-part series, this Count Me In concert series. So let's get started. I'm so excited. Let's do this.
Count me in.
Okay, you guys, this would not be a Wonderama house party without my dear friends, my co-hosts, Coco and Breezy. They're here with us. They're DJs, they're twin sisters, they're business partners, and they have Coco and Breezy eyewear, which is awesome. So happy to have you guys. Normally we're on set in New York together, but at least we get to be digitally together, right? How you doing,
David.
guys?
Hey, David. We're so excited to see you right now.
It's so good to see you as well. And I feel your love all the time. I watch you guys on social media. You're the busiest sisters I've ever seen in my life. How do you guys juggle it all?
I think the one thing that's important is team, and we cannot do anything without our team. So we're very grateful for the amazing people we have around us that are helping us do everything.
So this year is a census year. You know, this is the 24th time we've done it as a country. It's very important. We do it every 10 years. But this is the first year we can actually go online and do it. Very quick process. You can call in as well. Why do you guys think it's so important that every kid gets counted?
It's so important that every kid gets counted because we need funding. We need to make sure everyone knows that, you know, who's here. And I think that it's important because in order for things to shift, we need to know who's there. So it's so important. And now that it's online, it's even more convenient. So make sure everyone fills out the census.
Awesome, we will, and we always count on you to be the life of the party. Thank you for joining us today on Wonderama's house party, and I cannot wait to get back in studio, in set, in New York with you guys, and we'll have a party there as well. Thanks, you guys. I love you.
Count me in.
All right, you guys, check it out. My next guest is the 56th mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, and we're so excited to have her right here as part of the Wonderama house party. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is a thrill. Welcome to the house party.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I got to ask you, seriously, as a kid, because there's a lot of kids watching, did you ever think that one day you would be the mayor of Chicago?
No. I was not even in my mind's eye. I grew up in a very small town in Ohio. And no, thinking about being the mayor of the third largest city was definitely not on my radar screen back in the day when I was young.
You are such a role model to a lot of kids in so many different communities. What would you say to a kid that's watching right now that feels like maybe they don't fit in?
Well, I think the most important thing is never let anybody tell you what you can't do. Always believe in yourself, push yourself to do your best. And you're always going to be successful if you have confidence in your heart and your head that you can do whatever it is that you want.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. This is such a powerful year for our country. This is a census year, the 2020 census, and it's a benchmark because now we get to go online, we can make a phone call. It's the first time we can do that. Why do you think the census is important to kids, and how can they get involved?
Well, look, the census is really important for all of us. Literally everyone needs to be counted, whether it's a baby, whether it's a grandma, or everybody in between. And all those fun things that kids like to do, have a great school where they can learn, go to a park that offers great programs and is fun, be able to ride down the street on a road that's in good shape. All of those things are paid for by federal dollars. And whether we get those federal dollars depends on whether we fill out the census. So even as a young person, even though you may think, well, that's really for adults. No, urge your parents to make sure that they fill out the census so that everybody is counted.
There are kids all over the country watching right now. This is a true house party. You're having fun. Any final words of encouragement or advice that you can give to all of us?
Well, look, I think the most important thing, particularly in these times, is for young kids to make sure that they listen to each other, that they support each other, and that even if they disagree on issues, but they do it in a way that at the end of it, you can put your arms around each other and remain friends. That's really, really important. And that's an example that adults should follow. We hear so much that people are yelling about this or yelling about that, but you don't really hear a conversation. You don't really hear people trying to work together enough to solve problems. And I think that's the one thing that kids are really, really good at, is really coming together, uniting to solve problems, and really be supports for each other.
Okay, Mayor Lightfoot, last question for you. Are you going to be part of the 2020 census?
Hey, you can count me in.
All right, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining the Wonderama House Party. We really appreciate it. You can come back and party with us anytime. My next guest is no stranger to the Wonderama stage, but the first time to the Wonderama House Party, and we welcome her gladly. She's a 15-year-old entertainer who became a viral sensation with the release of her 2017 music video, Kiki Taught Me. Her video was viewed more than 500,000 times in the first month on YouTube alone. She grew up in Detroit, Michigan, wrote her first song at the age of 5, recorded her first song at the age of 8. She's a sensation. She's awesome. She's a good friend of ours. Please welcome Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, very blessed, very happy to have you a part of the Wonderama House Party. Thank you for joining us. Where are you joining us from, by the way? You in Detroit today?
I am joining you guys from Detroit, Michigan, my hometown, today.
How old were you when you began entertaining?
My parents and my family say I've been doing this since I could move. But since I can remember, when I was 5, I did my first show, but it was like a talent show type thing. But nobody won the talent show. It was just like a variety show in school. Yeah. And that was like my first performance on stage in front of a lot of people. So that was my first performance. So I went from 5 all the way to now 15. So, that's been 10 years. It doesn't seem like.
You do it all, like you said, modeling, acting, rapping, singing, producing, all that. What do you do when you're not doing those things? What are your hobbies?
Those things are my hobbies.
Those are your hobbies.
But, I dance all the time and make TikTok videos, dub smash videos, YouTube videos. That's what I think is fun to me. On studio in New York, the kids just go crazy. They look up to you so much. And a lot of up-and-coming talent that want to get advice from you about what they can do to break into the music industry. What would you say is your best advice you can give them? I would say just follow your dreams, whether that's music-wise or if you want to be into sports. Just follow your dreams and don't let any negativity come your way, because negativity will tear you down. And if you don't let negativity get in your way, then just go with positive vibes and you'll be lifted up, and just follow your dreams. And you've got a lot of projects that have come out since. You got a brand new one called Shine, which is awesome. What are you currently working on now? Well, right now I'm dropping songs every week, every 2 weeks type flow. So we've been dropping songs back to back now. I have a couple new songs out now. I have Shine featuring my little sister Lala, Bounce Back featuring Lala, Friends featuring Lala, Can't Lose, which is just me. What else? Hold on, because there's a lot. Dance Baby, which is just me. Last question for you. This is a significant year for us here in the United States. It's the 2020 census. We're here in partnership with the U.S. Census Bureau, talking to kids about what that means. What can you tell them that are watching, why it's important to be counted? I feel it's important for kids to be counted with Census, because it can help them like with their future, like with the resources that they need when they grow up, or like from here 10 years from now, it can help them with like the resources they need, such as like federal funds or like programs that they may need now, or programs that they might need down the line from now. So that's why I feel it's important.
We appreciate you joining the Wonderama house party today, and hopefully next time we'll see you on set in New York, all right?
Yes, thank you.
Brooklyn Queen, everybody, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us. All right, you guys, so check it out. Here is a new video from our good friend Brooklyn Queen featuring Lala Solit. This is Shine.
I'm always gonna shine. I'll always be on your mind. I'm always gonna dance. Don't miss out on your chance. I'm always gonna sing. I'll always follow my dreams. I'm just being me. I don't care what no one else thinks. Why everybody wanna speak on I? We don't need those guys. Young queens in the game and they don't we those guys. To the people feeding hate, I make them eat those lies. I preach the truth and let them keep those ties. Never give in to the nonsense. Focus on a milli, keep your 2 cents in nonsense. Keep that in the comments. Overcoming everything they said I never would. God bless and those who work while the youngin' is looking good. I'm always gonna shine. I'll always be on your mind. I'm always gonna dance. Don't miss out on your chance. I'm always gonna sing. I'll always follow my dreams. I'm just being me. I don't care what no one else thinks. Give me an Oscar and a Grammy too. Need a couple milli for the family too. Hope you see me dancing. I know Granny up there dancing too. Going to the top with the ones who was on the ground with me. I know Granny proud of me. I wish she was round to see. And I'm forever gon' shine. I'm never gon' stop. I'm forever gon' grind. They forever gon' feel a way about me, and that's fine. They forever gon' see me up where they still talking down. And I'm always gonna shine. I'll always be on your mind. I'm always gonna dance. Don't miss out on your chance. I'm always gonna sing. I'll always follow my dreams. I'm just being me. I don't care what no one else thinks.
Hey, David. So glad I could be here to be part of the house party. This is Marilyn Sanders. I'm the regional director of the U.S. Census Bureau from Chicago. It's so nice to be here. Hope everybody is getting counted. You can go online right now and be counted. Don't miss this opportunity. Get counted.
All right, you guys, my next guest here on the house party, she's a poet, she's an author, she's an activist. Please welcome to the house party, Leslie Honore. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Now, in Chicago, you've been there for a long time.
I
What do
have.
you love most about Chicago?
I love Chicago's people. We have so many different people here from all over the world, and we are all Chicagoans. And so even when winters are really rough or summers are too hot, we have amazing people, amazing food, and just a great spirit of love and creativity and hard work. Chicago's a great place to live.
So there's a lot of kids that are watching right now that might be aspiring writers, poets. What advice, what tips can you give these kids who want to go into that industry?
Do it. Do it. I used to carry around a notebook all the time, and now I write in my phone in my notes app.
And this is a census year, 2020. It's very important, very a landmark year for how we do the census. Why is it important for kids in Chicago to be counted?
I think why it's so important is in so many areas, kids aren't counted. Their voices aren't heard. They aren't seen as important. And the census is one of the areas where we can really focus on that. Babies, infants, kids who just got here, they are important to be counted. It's important that people know who are in our communities, and that's how we get resources to make our communities better and stronger and give us access to everything that we need. So the census is a great way for kids to know that they are important no matter how old they are.
Thank you so much for that inspiring message. We really appreciate coming on, talking to these kids, and inspiring all of us to write just a little bit more. Write your feelings down. Well, Leslie, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Leslie. Give a round of applause at home, everybody. Leslie Honore.
You don't need to start a business to have a voice. It's it's as simple as filling out the census, and then that way you make sure that you're represented. So I found my voice, and I think it's really important that everyone does.
Count me in.
I'm so excited. One of our hosts for the Wonderama House Party is none other than Wynton Marsalis, the artistic director of Jazz at Lincoln Center. He's a Grammy and Pulitzer Prize winner and has produced over 100 records selling over 7 million copies. We're happy to have him to the house party. Wynton Marsalis, the man, the legend. How you doing?
Man, it's a pleasure to be here talking with you. How you feeling tonight?
I'm very blessed. I'm fat and sassy. I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. We're having a house party over here. We're so glad you could join us, man.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here.
Jazz at Lincoln Center. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we put on concerts. We have an orchestra. We have a lot of education. We have 12 education programs. We teach kids of all ages. And we're advocates for the music. So we're always talking about the music and telling people to check it out, improve your listening, get into this, and we keep the music alive in that way.
Yeah. Speaking of music, how important is it to keep jazz music alive in America today?
Well, it's very important. Music is your internal life. It's your thoughts, your memories. You need nourishment. It can't always be an entertainment product. So you got room for the entertainment products, but sometimes you need something where somebody's really trying to communicate something with some kind of deeper human values. It takes all of that to make a world. So it's very, very important to have that type of nourishment also.
That's fantastic. Music is powerful. Music is what feelings sound like. And you've said that music, for your life, the principles of jazz have defined your life. Can you explain that?
Well, the first thing jazz teaches you that it's okay to be yourself because you improvise. Yeah. And it's a very human thing. Like if you have a thing you can do and other people can't do your thing. Don't feel like you have to conform. The second thing it teaches you is that other people have their thing too. So learn how to create space for them. So jazz teaches you to speak with intensity and passion, but to also listen with the same type of dedication. And those two things are many times seen to be opposites. And finally, jazz through the blues teaches you that sometimes stuff doesn't work out. And you have to maintain a positive attitude and use your will to create a more fruitful environment, regardless of the circumstance.
That's cool. And that's why you said jazz is an analogy for democracy in America right now.
Well, it's an analogy for the ideals of democracy, not democracy in America right now. America right now is not what you want to see. The ideals are that people negotiate the space with each other. Like in jazz, the drums are the loudest instrument. It's forced to play with the acoustic bass, which is the softest instrument. The bass plays the lowest notes, and the cymbal is the highest note. So those extremes are forced to come together. And people have the right to solo, but you have to edit yourself. You can't just stand up and play your solo for 15 minutes of a song. You have to play a little while and realize, hey, other people need to play. So jazz is the way we want our democracy to work.
Are you going to be part of the 2020 census?
Man, you better not leave me out. Count me in.
Nice. Thank you so much. You work at Jazz at Lincoln Center as the artistic director. You see a lot of amazing, talented kids, and you brought some with you. One in particular you're going to feature today. Can you tell me about Isaiah?
Oh, you're going to love the fantastic Isaiah J. Thompson, native of New Jersey, absolute swinger, graduated with a master's degree from Juilliard, has played with everybody in the world, Christian McBride, Rodney Whitaker. Everyone who hears him loves him, a fountain of soul.
Please welcome to the party, Isaiah J. Thompson. What's up, Isaiah? How you doing?
What's going on? Good, how are you?
Man, we're having a party over here. How about you?
Sir, I'm all right, just hanging. I got my piano here and just, living life.
You're an amazing musician. Jazz at Lincoln Center. You've done a lot of work with them. Is that right? Tell me about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I was lucky enough. I did a lot of programs with Jazz Lincoln Center when I was really young, when I started to become interested in jazz. And I was lucky enough to become close to people like Wynton Marsalis, who kind of took me under their wing and showed me a lot about the music, why it's important. And I'm just lucky to be able to call them like my second family. And it showed me so much, helped me so much. So I'm just very thankful to that institution, as well as so many other people that I got to meet, other programs and Jazz House Kids, all types of things.
This is a show that we do called The House Party, and we have a lot of music. And this is in partnership with a group called the 2020 Census. A lot of these kids are learning about what that means. I know you know what it means. What can you say to these kids about how important it is to be counted?
Well, I would just say that it's important because you have to represent yourself in a certain way, right? People have to know that you're there, right? And I think it starts with you first saying, I am here. You have to recognize yourself. And I think that's why we're starting to see all this in the media and things like that, because people are starting to say, you have to see me, right? And for other people to see you, you first have to say, hey, can you look at me, right? And so I think it's definitely important. The census is important because in a certain way, you're telling the world, I'm here, look at me, and you're forced to look at me.
Will you be part of the 2020 census?
Count me in.
Yeah, man, we got it. Hey, can we count on you also? I see a piano sitting in front of you. I can't have a discussion with Isaiah without having you play something. Would you do us the honor of playing a piece?
For sure. I'm going to play a piece written by Carl Perkins. It's entitled Groove Yard. I hope you guys enjoy.
Dude, take it away. Yeah, man. Isaiah, representing. Dude, that was awesome. Thanks, man. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Count me in.
Okay, you guys, my next guest here to the house party has a really cool job. She works for Forefront's Democracy Initiative as it relates to the 2020 census. And here to tell us what that's about, living in Chicago, is Anita Banerjee. Please welcome Anita. How you doing?
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. You have a really cool job. You're doing some really neat things, in particular this year with the census. Can you tell us what that's all about? What is your job?
Yeah, so I have the privilege of corralling the troops, getting government officials, philanthropy officials, nonprofit leaders, community leaders, teachers, students to get invested to make sure that everyone across the country gets counted this year.
Why is it important for these kids that are watching at home? Why should they care?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I think the easiest way that I can bring it home is to say that when we're in times of health crisis like we are now, this is our opportunity for our children, our youth are going to be the leaders of tomorrow to get involved, right? To get involved with community, to make sure that your household is counted. because the census count only happens once a decade, right? By the time you are, say you're 7 now, by the time you're 17, you're going to be getting ready to vote, right? And that's an important civic engagement, civic duty. And the census is just like that. It's just as important to get counted so that we have resources from the federal government so that our families, our neighbors, our grandparents, our siblings have those resources for the future.
So we know the importance of it. What are ways for encouragement to encourage these kids to get themselves, their families involved to get that census filled out?
First and foremost, I would say ask your parent to go to 2020census.gov and fill out the form. All you need is your address, your home address to fill out that form, and it takes less than 10 minutes.
Great, that's fantastic. Good words of advice for all of us. We really appreciate your time and joining us here at the Wonderama House Party.
Great to meet you.
Right now, we're welcoming a good friend of the program. He's a funny dude. He's the voice of Monsters University, Don Carlton. We're so happy to have him here representing Chicago. Joel Murray, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, David. Nice to be here.
Dude.
Well, I'm home, but it's nice to be with you.
So this is your home. We're all hanging out. This is my home. What do you think? The kind of industrial, not as cozy as what you got going on.
I don't have a W theme. I have more of an M theme. It's a Murray thing, but
Murray, and a Cubs I can see.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big fan.
Can't miss that in a crowd.
I wear the Argyle, but I'm excited to be on with you.
You've done a lot of stuff throughout your career in film and writing and everything, but you've done a lot of voice acting. I think that's fascinating, and I think the kids that are watching today will recognize you most probably from your voice because of the shows you've been a part of, from the commercials you've been a part of. And what is that like to go from that live stage, standing in front of your voice on a stage, live, musicals, to going into a sound booth, in an isolated booth where you're doing a character actor? What's that difference like? What do you shift mentally?
Well, that's the beauty of, you young ball players at home there. Reading is really important, it turns out. And if you can read into a microphone, you can actually make a living out of that. And, if you could do some different voices and different inflections, but if you can read really well, you can actually be an on-air announcer. There's different jobs you can actually get that are just standing in front of a mic reading. And, doing a thing for Pixar, I just happen to have this back. This is Don Carlson there. He's this guy. It's an action figure. As you can see, it's really an action figure. All he does is wave.
Well, hey, when you're in sales, that's kind of all you have to do, right?
Well, hey, Don Carlson, that was a guy, and I got to work for Pixar, which is the greatest film place anywhere.
Because this is a census year, this only happens every 10 years. It's our 24th time as a country. And this is the first time we can actually go on the phone and do the census, and we can actually go online and do the census. Why is it important for kids to do the census? Why is it important for them to be a part of this?
Well, it's really important. I mean, besides, like you were talking about, being counted for people that know you're in the car, it's to be counted to know you're in America and to know you're going to get what is coming your way. And when they give out things from the government, they give it out according to the number of people that are in certain areas. You go online. My mom, after my dad died, my dad died when I was 5 and left my mom with 9 kids. The first job she went back to, the first job she ever had was going door to door doing the census. And back in the day, you had to actually knock on the door and say how many people live here and all this stuff. And now it's 10 minutes online. I did it months ago. And I feel like, can I do it again or what?
Right, it's just a couple of questions.
It was so easy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much, Joel Murray, everybody. Give a round of applause.
Yay.
All clap.
Count me in.
All right, you guys, check it out. My next guest here at the house party is a really cool friend of ours. His name's Ariel Raboiris, out of Chicago. He was first elected in 2003 as alderman of the 30th Ward in Chicago. He was born in New York City and then moved to Chicago when he was 12 years old. Please welcome to the program, Ariel. How you doing, man?
Hi, guys. How are you? Good
hey, thank you so much for coming to the house party.
Thank you. I'm ready to join.
Yeah.
I'm ready to join.
This is a census year. It's a big year for all of us. Can you tell me why the census is important to kids and how can they get involved with what's going on?
Well, kids know how to put out a show, a game. They know how to put out the work. They do very well, whether it's in a playtime, music, dancing, the show that you put on. Census is huge and it involves everyone. We want everyone to count on that day, on October 31st, which is the final day. And kids can make a difference in this census for 2020.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to do, right? You just go online, a few clicks. It's very simple. First time in history that we can do it that way.
That's wonderful. I'm very happy that the U.S. Census and you guys are working with them because kids are natural. They don't make up anything. They know how to act and they know how to get the word out.
Yeah.
And I will guarantee you, after this show Friday, my numbers in my ward, in my district, in my community are going to go up. Awesome. And maybe we can win that year's challenge.
Excellent, man. Little Kids Rock is an organization that restores, expands, and innovates music education in our schools. More than 500,000 kids participate in this program, and we got a few of them here today. I want to introduce you to some friends of mine. Please welcome Armand and Theo Andre and Logan Kane. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, we're good.
Yeah? Where are you guys at right now? Are you in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you guys are musicians. You guys are, you play different instruments. You sing, you perform. Tell me about what you guys play. What kind of instruments?
Yeah.
I play guitar at my school. I'm in a middle school rock band, and I performed a little bit of that. I've had 1 gig outside of school and about 3 inside of school. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
So guitar player, Theo. What about you, Armin? What do you play?
Mainly drums, but there have been certain situations where I have had to take on the role of being a bass player and a guitar player, but for the most part, it's just drumming.
That's cool. So you can bounce back and forth between the drums and bass. You're learning lots of different instruments. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. And Logan, how about you? What do you play?
I was in 2nd grade. I was around like 7 or 8 or something like that. And yeah, I don't know. I picked up the violin in 2nd grade. I was at my friend's house. She had violin and keyboard. So I went home that day and I was like, Mom, I want to play the violin.
So this is a census year, the 2020 census. Why do you think that is so important for groups like Little Kids Rock?
Well, Little Kids Rock is a nonprofit organization, so they definitely need the money and they need to be noticed by the census so that they can continue giving supports to the kids in the schools.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. That's a huge, huge advantage for being noticed in that census. Thank you very much for bringing awareness to the importance of every kid being counted. Okay, I got to ask you guys, are you going to be part of the 2020 census?
Count me in.
Well, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us at the Wonderama house party. I want to thank all my guests for being here today. It's been a blast. I'm David Osmond, reminding all of you to never, ever lose your sense of wonder. And I hope I can count on you to be part of the 2020 census. You can count me in.
There's a place you can go, it's a thing it can be, it's a world full of